is that because this game right happened to be going on without Ronaldo inside, right, and they won 9, right, it is safe to say that Portugal can do well without Ronaldo, or they can do without him.
I think my opinion is yes. I think they definitely can. They can definitely do without him.
Yeah.
I mean, they've proven that they won matches without him as well.
Yeah. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Football Kaki. I'm your host Yalda and I'm joined by my fellow Kaki bro, Paul. Paul, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, brother. I think the weekend was a bit of a restful weekend. No football, no F1. I think not too bad. I think I slept before 12 on both weekend.
I attended a wedding. My cousin got married. I wouldn't say who or what, but if you know, you know. So congrats, cuz. Wishing you all the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, you got them a lot of cousins, yeah. Like both sides, right? If you add all together.
I got a lot, and all of us are tall.
Okay, but I think nevertheless, I think quite a for me it was a restful weekend. For you, apart from that, then what else do you do, man?
Nothing much. Generally, I think
at least you've been playing the EAFC.
On and off lah. Like I've been trying to catch up on as much sleep as I can. Every few hours, wherever I can get some sleep, I'll just go and just take a nap. Because really, bro, I tell you, as you get older, right, the fatigue wears you out faster.
As you get older, right, it's not about how hard you exercise or how hard you like do something like physically, right? It's how fast your body recover.
Correct. So it's like
that's more important. And
I'm starting to realize that actually if you have like accumulated hours of rest, right, actually your body feels fine. So sometimes it'll be like I can sleep 5 hours, right, but probably maybe I took but on the days where I can, I just maybe take 1 or 2 hours just to go and kill one side.
Yeah, I think that's good, bro. Yeah, never underestimate the power of a nap.
Yes, that is very important. But then again, never underestimate the power of football, because today, even though we are not on a Premier League weekend, right? Even though England have officially qualified for the World Cup, right? We are here to talk about the World Cup because there have been some shock exits or like countries that are not going to qualify for the World Cup, which we are going to talk about in our what's going on this week. But as you can see from our thumbnail, it is Portugal related.
Yes, Portugal.
It is Portugal related. Portugal beat Armenia 9-1 without number 7.
Oh, yes.
Without number 7, right? And we have not talked about Cristiano Ronaldo on this podcast in a very long time. So why not bring it back up? Because there's been a very, very strong debate on whether or not Portugal are better without Cristiano. So, bro, you ready to get into it?
Let's do it, man.
Now, before we get into today's episode, a special word from our sponsor.
This episode of the Chit Chatter Podcast is brought to you by Gui Cafe, a cozy Korean-Japanese cafe that's all about coffee, meals, comfort. Located at 278 Southbridge Road, Gui Cafe is a charming escape from the bustle of the city. It is the perfect place to unwind and have a great time and just let conversations flow.
Signature dosirak rice box is a fan favorite. A golden Korean lunchbox filled with rice, a sunny side up egg, kimchi, seaweed, and luncheon meat. Give it a shake before you dig in and shake your dosirak for that fun, satisfying mix that makes Gui Cafe unique. If you're in the mood for something lighter, they've got plenty of food for sharing, perfect for a chat over coffee or a quick catch up with friends. And don't leave without trying their Dalgona honeycomb coffee. Creamy, sweet, and just the right amount of indulgence.
So if you're looking for a space that serves up comfort and conversation, head down to Gui Cafe at 278 Southbridge Road. Once again, a big thank you to our friends at Gui Cafe for sponsoring this episode of the Chit Chatter Podcast.
And now, back to the episode. And we are here to talk about our what's going on. So, bro, what exactly is our what's going on?
All right, man. Yeah, I think so. Okay, before the game between Portugal and Armenia, right? We all know that Portugal lost to Ireland 2-0. And then during the game, Ronaldo was sent off for a very foolish elbow. Prior to the Armenian game, right? There was in the table, there was mathematically saying that actually Portugal may not have made it to the World Cup.
Yeah.
If Hungary beat Ireland and then Armenia beat Portugal, right? It will be Hungary and Ireland going to the World Cup. That was the big story of it, lah. But then come the Portugal and Armenia game, I think it was 1-0 first and then 1-1.
Yep.
But by halftime, right, bro, it was 5-1. So I think Portugal really laid down the statement that saying we're not going anywhere. We are going to the World Cup and let's do it in style.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't have Ronaldo lah. So I think final score ended, like you said just now, 9-1. I think it was quite an insane scoreline, bro. What do you think?
Yeah. I think we'll delve in. I think maybe we delve into that a bit later, right? Because we also got some other things, right? Because I think the main thing will be Portugal. But I think for what's going on, right, the things that I probably had was more to do with like Nigeria's not going to the World Cup.
Cameroon's not going
Cameroon's not going to the World Cup.
I think Sweden's not going. Yeah.
Italy may not make the World Cup. And which other country is not going?
I think Sweden, bro. Yeah, Sweden. I think
Italy is a toss-up. It's like not guaranteed. Like currently only four European teams have qualified for the World Cup only.
This is the first World Cup we will see South Africa back in the World Cup.
Yeah. Okay. But so I just write out, right. So basically for Europe, right, England, France, Croatia, Norway, Portugal have qualified.
Spain haven't.
Spain no.
Because they haven't lost. They haven't lost a single game. They haven't even considered a goal,
They haven't
officially yeah.
Haven't officially, right? But I know South America have already settled already, and then Oceania already settled already. Oceania and New Zealand.
Asia most of it, right?
Yeah. Asia pretty much settled already, right? It's only Europe. But I think the shock is really Cameroon and Nigeria not going to the World Cup.
South America, Chile also not going, bro. Chile, can you imagine Chile in 10 years ago and Chile now?
But the thing is that Chile, the decline already very bad already.
Yeah, the decline was bad, bro. Ever since they lost Sanchez and Vargas, right?
Yeah, but if you were to look at it, right, like Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, and Uruguay, right? It's like, okay lah.
It's
it
like
kind of
the
same few lah. It's like that. The usual few that always qualify from South America, one. Any thoughts on like Nigeria not making the World Cup or Cameroon?
Who is their best player now, Nigeria? The Iheanacho, is it?
Osimhen, bro.
Osimhen, Iheanacho, Ndidi, right? But then Cameroon, I only know Mbeumo and what's his name?
Onana.
Right?
But bro, it's like
okay lah. Maybe it's a good thing and Cameroon's not going. Can you imagine Onana in the World Cup, bro?
No, bro.
The spectacle of it is going to be funny.
The spectacle of it is going to be funny, right? But Nigeria lost because I think they lost on penalties.
To Congo, is it?
Yes.
I don't know lah, bro. I think African football also quite volatile, Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes certain countries are good, Like I said just now, I think South Africa is inside already.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite cool, Like the last time we saw them was, 2010?
Yep. But I mean, it's interesting because like the African Cup of Nations is coming up also.
Yeah, so then they were saying like, will Mbeumo go,
No, because I feel that like sometimes they use African Cup of Nations like as a warm-up to a coming
World Cup, right? Yeah.
The World Cup coming tournament.
The World Cup, then
but you don't
even going to the World Cup.
Not going to the World Cup, what's the point?
Maybe just win the tournament lah.
Maybe lah, but it's like okay. But the thing is that like AFCON is like kind of like the Euros, so it's like important to a lot. It's important to a lot of the African players, man. So if they don't go, it's like will people look at it more like okay, you're not how to say that you care more. You don't care about your country when they're not playing in a big tournament.
Yeah, we shall see the African countries. I think it'll be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think if Italy don't make the World Cup, bro, how?
It'll be like the third time already, right? Or second time in 10 years, right?
It'll be quite bad,
They didn't go the
Euros.
They didn't go South Africa, right?
I think they didn't.
And then they didn't make the previous one, so the Qatar one.
No, bro, they could have they could miss their third consecutive World Cup.
Third consecutive means what? Russia, Qatar, and then this one.
Russia, Qatar, this one. They were in Brazil, what?
Oh, yeah. Then they got eliminated early, right? Italy not in the World Cup, bruh. That's crazy.
Yep. And the worst part is that they won a Euro.
22, right?
Yeah, no, it don't make sense. Like they won a Euro, right? But they didn't make a World Cup. How can the European champions not even make a World Cup?
Yeah, and they won like the World Cup maybe 10 years before that, right?
Exactly. It don't make sense, but I mean, what to say, But okay, I think we keep track on Italy, right? Going over because I do think that it's probably a shock if they don't make the World Cup. So we shall see about that, lah. But I think let's move on to the main segment for today, which is basically Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo.
We would like to take a quick break to thank our friends at HDBK Official for sponsoring this episode of the Chit Chatter Podcast. If you've ever run a small business or tried selling online, you'll know how tough it can be. high platform fees, hidden charges, and algorithms that bury your listings. That's exactly what HDBK Official is changing.
HDBK Official is a community marketplace made for local brands and creators here in Singapore. Instead of taking huge commissions, their fees are only 2 to 5% with no hidden fees or transaction costs.
You don't even need your own website. HDBK Official helps you reach new customers, grow your brand, and actually keep more of what you earn. It's not about competing with big platforms. It's about building a fair, supportive space where local businesses can really thrive.
To learn more about the platform or to list your own brand, check out hdbkofficial.com. Thanks again to HDBK Official for supporting the show and for supporting local creators.
The story here is because even though Portugal did beat Armenia 9-1, right? They had a game previously with Ireland and they lost 2-0.
Horrible game for Portugal fans.
And they lost 2-0. Not only did they lose 2-0, Cristiano Ronaldo got sent off.
Yep.
And it was like a straight red. So meaning that if let's say it's a straight red, right? Because Portugal have already qualified already and the Euros and like the World Cup qualifiers are already over, right? It could be an official capacity that Ronaldo could miss the first game of the World Cup.
Actually, no, the story was, right, they said that if you get any red card in a qualifying game, right?
Yeah.
You get technically only a one match ban.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that, you know how people are just trying to add fuel to the fire?
Yeah.
They were saying like, oh no, he deserves the maximum punishment, which is a 2-game ban, you know, that kind of thing. Which then effectively mean that the next World Cup game for Portugal, right, is actually the first game of the World Cup. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, so but then I think Roberto Martinez and Portugal, the FA, they're like appealing. So I think they will only get a conclusion after all the qualifiers is finished, which is the end of November.
Yeah, I agree because I think they're looking at it, right? I mean, if you were to look at it in a very simple light, right? Cristiano did bring Portugal into like the limelight recently because previously before they started making consistent national tournaments, right? They barely made any tournaments prior to that already. I think the one they're probably known for is probably Euro 2000 when they came close to winning, and then of course the Euro 2004. 2004 when they made the final, they lost to Greece. But I will say this, and I want to say one thing, right? Is because the reason why this topic has come up, right, is because there are people on the internet circulating and saying that Portugal are better off without Cristiano Ronaldo because of the fact that they scored 9 goals. And the team seemed to be playing a bit more freely during this period of time. Because the reason why we say this was when they got 9-1, Bruno had a hat-trick, João Neves had a hat-trick, and then Viega, Ramos, and Conceição scored other goals. So basically 9 goals, right, with 5 in the first half, 4 in the second half. I want to ask like this particular bunch of questions, right? Because we were discussing this off camera, and now it's come to the point where we have to bring it on camera. The question that I have, right, is that because this game, right, happened to be going on without Ronaldo inside, right, and they won 9, right, is it safe to say that Portugal can do well without Ronaldo? Or they can do without him?
I think my opinion is yes. I think they definitely can. They can definitely do without him.
Yeah.
I mean, they've proven that they won matches without him as well. I think that's a very straightforward answer. I'm pretty sure he's not the player that he was 10 years ago, you know, where they solely rely on him.
Yep.
They like over maybe the last 2 years since Qatar, right? They're like starting to pivot away from putting all the attention on him. They're trying to spread the goals out like towards around the team. So like maybe Bruno is stepping up, you know, João Neves. Maybe sometimes once in a while the Gonçalo Ramos, you know, he's the secondary striker, right, to Portugal. Yeah, so I think they don't really have to rely 100% on him anymore. It's nice to have him in the team for sure.
Yes.
Because I think even Bruno says that he's the kind that can get you a goal anytime. But we have to be realistic and realize that he's not the same player that he was 10 years ago, and that he doesn't have to carry the whole nation on his shoulders like he did 10 years ago. Yeah.
I do agree in a sense, right? Because essentially I do think that there will come a point, right, whereby when it happens, right, Portugal have to do without him.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come sooner or later. I think this is 100% his last World Cup.
Yeah.
This is hard for sure his last World Cup. So if he doesn't win this one, it's as good as it's over already for him already. He will never do what Messi did, which is basically Messi won a World Cup with Argentina, Ronaldo didn't win a World Cup with Portugal. Even though he wins the Nations League, right, and he won a Euro, right, it's still not a World Cup.
It's not a World Cup, yeah.
It's not a World Cup. On the other hand, right, for me, I do think that because his style of play has changed so much, it's evolved already, right? I don't really know whether or not, right, this is a one-off for me, whereby, honestly, 9 goals in a game is a one-off a lot of time. like really is a one-off. It's a one-off. Like even United beat Southampton like by 9 goals recently, like a years ago under Ole. So could it have just been that? Okay, it just happened to be a game where all the ball just kept going into the net, and there were 2 penalties. Even without the 2 penalties, right, it was still 7 goals.
I mean, the fact that it was 5-1 in first half.
Yep.
Yeah, they just simply replicated the same performance in the second half, you know.
Correct. At the end of the day, when you look at it, I can understand why people are bringing it up. Say, hey, maybe Ronaldo, it's time for Portugal to move on with Ronaldo, right? But I want to ask you this question, right? Because the things have gone into a certain direction, right? And I have to ask this question because I generally really want to know your opinion, right? And this answer, right? And it's going to be brought up, right? Is Ronaldo in the team being a burden to the team's tactical layout, right? And the way that they play football? Because a lot of people are saying, wow, Portugal without Ronaldo feels like it's a very free type of football thing. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, I think burden is a bit harsh, but I feel that if the coach and player, right, if they talk it out, rather because I think last thing you want is like a Ronaldo and Ten Hag situation again.
Yeah.
Where the coach wants to play a certain way, but then Ronaldo wants to be like in the team, right? So instead of trying to shoehorn him into the team always, maybe when approaching the World Cup, they can approach like how Germany and Closer did in 2014. Like, okay, your role is you are still in this team, but your minutes will be reduced.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still gonna play you for like maybe 60 minutes, but then after that you need to come off. So I think that's what it worked for Closer in Germany in 2014. Like, you know, he was already approaching his 40s or so, I think, at that time. But he still managed to break the record, you know, of the most goals at the World Cup finals, right? You know, we all know Ronaldo is very strong-headed. He wants to play every minute. He wants to score every goal. He wants to be part of every play.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that there has to be discussions going on. I think if I think Roberto Martinez says that, okay, we cannot start you every game, but then it's something Ronaldo has to accept.
Yeah.
But if he continues like everything must go through me, then it's gonna feel like it's very force-fed, you know. And then like you said, the team will not be able to play freely, express themselves. You know, Bruno, instead of scoring, he needs to go and pass to Ronaldo and this kind of thing. I wouldn't say burden. I think it's more of a making sure that he understands that if it ever comes to a point where he needs a reduced role, right, then he has to accept it. It makes sense for both sides.
No, I agree, because which brings me up to my follow-up question, right, is because when you see performances like the one that Neves put up and the one that Bruno put up, right, although yes, Bruno scored 2 penalties, at the end of the day, right, it is probably they're 2 of the most dynamic players on the entire team, right, outside of Ronaldo, right, finally flourishing in a scenario where he's not inside. So it's like people will say, hey, Ronaldo in this team, right, it will hinder like Bruno and Neves. So is it like, why is it that this is being brought up? And why is it that Bruno and Neves finally put out a performance like this without Ronaldo in the team? So I want to ask you, why are they doing so much better without him inside as compared to if he's inside? Is it because they are now the focal point, or is it because they are able to do what they've been doing at club level? Okay,
so basically I think it's like when Ronaldo's not there, who is the next one to step up?
Yeah.
Right. I think we all know that the next most senior player will be one of the, I think either Ruben Dias or
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno Fernandes. So I think Bruno is already 30, right? He will be the next one in line to carry Portugal on his shoulders, you know.
Yeah.
When Ronaldo eventually leaves or retires. So it's good to see that he's already stepping up when Ronaldo's not around, you know. I think 3 goals as a attacking midfielder is quite insane. Even João Neves also had 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think, and I mentioned it was like 6 goals, 6 goals from midfielders. And then only 1 goal from the striker, which was the Goncalo Ramos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you can argue 2 penalties, but then
it's still a hat-trick.
It's still a hat-trick. Yeah, still a remarkable feat for both midfielders to score. So I think like what I said, I think the next in line to step up for Portugal, right, it will definitely be Bruno Fernandes.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
So now I think what we have concluded and what we can see, right, is that basically Portugal do play differently without Ronaldo in the team. And definitely some players could do without Ronaldo in the squad. which is basically what happened. Because finally, I think it was the first time in a super long time. Because you have to understand to everybody, right? Ronaldo never misses an international game. Like, hardly one. It's very rare that he actually does miss. And
It's
the
because-
only time
and he's not even injured. It's because he's
it's because of a red card, which is a very stupid red card where he swung the elbow. We swung the elbow at a guy. At the end of the day, when we look at it, right, there's a lot of things that people frame. And there will always be the Ronaldo Messi debate. But I think if you're talking specifically about Portugal, right, it is a toss-up between what is the current way to go for Portugal and does it involve Cristiano Ronaldo? Because the question also becomes, right, at the World Cup, right, and I'm going to ask you this, right, what happens, right, if this performance is the stepping stone for Portugal to really go find the World Cup, but the guy that brought them there is not going to be the guy that's going to be anchoring it? Could that be a possibility to you? I want to ask you before we close out, like, could it be that the only way Portugal can win the World Cup, right, is without Ronaldo there?
Okay, no, I think you have to see as a whole picture.
Yep.
Okay. Irregardless of whether Ronaldo is in it or not, are Portugal's even favourites to win the tournament?
They are not, 100%.
They are not, right? So basically, yeah. So like, if you ask me now, I don't even know who is the favourites to win. I can say either maybe France or maybe I won't even say England. And I cannot live to see Argentina win another one. Right? It's just I cannot. Like, it's like so insufferable. It's not because I'm a Ronaldo fan. It's just like because like the antics in the the Martinez antics and everything. But I think like what I said, if to see Portugal's even favourites to win, like maybe to even go to semis, I don't even know, bro.
No.
Like, but it will be a very nice underdog story. Like
Yes.
to say that Portugal is an underdog.
Yeah.
To see where they can go. So with or without Ronaldo, I would think they have to in that moment, right, do what is best for them and what they feel they can take them all the way.
Yeah.
If that means like benching Ronaldo, then I think so be it. It's like you can't just let him go there and then let him score 1 or 2 goals just because he's happy and everything. I think you have to do what is right for the country, and I feel that he himself will recognize the situation. Like if I'm not playing, if I'm not the one that should be playing, then I don't think you should play me lah. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, it's a bit hard lah because they are not even favorites at all.
Yeah.
If you ask me, they play against England, right? Maybe got a chance they will lose also.
I do agree, right? And I do think that just relating back to Ronaldo knowing that, okay, if he has to take a backseat, right, just because of circumstance, right? Well, he is one thing. But the thing is that you can see what impact he has even if he's off the field. An example would be the year that Portugal won the Euro.
Yeah.
Won the Euro, right? He was injured in the final, right? But bro, the way that he was shouting at the team, hey, get into position, do all these things, right? It's like,
bro, they thought that he was the coach.
Yeah, correct. It's like the voice on the team, because at the end of the day, right, he's still the leader of Portugal.
And then can you imagine? Just like that quick statement. 2016 Euro final, right? It was like prime Ronaldo.
Yep.
It was like a 31-year-old Ronaldo. Can you imagine how helpless he felt, right? That he cannot even help his country in the final, and it's because of something he couldn't control.
Yeah.
It was like a Payet reckless tackle, right? And it's like so close to the pinnacle already, and I cannot be the one to bring my country forward,
Yep.
Yeah, and the only thing next thing he could do is to just coach them now.
Which is like, for him, I feel like maybe one of his biggest upset was because like he's won everything, he's played in every single big game in ever, right? But he couldn't do anything in a final that meant the most to him. Like, you can honestly say, right, like, as much as he won Champions League, right, the Euro final meant probably is the one that means the most to him. Because it's his country, it's Portugal.
The 2004 one, he was a sub, right?
He was a sub.
He didn't feel the weight of the shoulders that much.
Correct.
Yeah.
2016 was the one.
2016 one was the big one, yeah. Yeah, bro, I remember watching the final, so the moment he got injured, I thought it was like game over,
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, right, I think what we can do, right, is we probably will leave it to the World Cup coming up next year. So we shall see.
Okay, no, I think what we can do now, right, is after the World Cup qualifier finish, we just pray Portugal gets a good draw. Right, because the draw haven't come out.
Yeah, true. Because everybody haven't qualified. Only the European teams are just waiting for the finishing part.
Yeah.
So,
By then, next time you'll see that when we come to the episode, right, we'll see who's in the group of death, who's the dark horse, who's favourites to win. Well, that'll be a fun episode.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I think, bro, I think we've come to the end of this week's episode. Anything else to add as a CR7 fan?
Yes. Can I just say, right, how slick that black kit looks? Do you see the kit?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Bro, you go and take a look at it's a black Puma kit, right? I guarantee you, next year this time I'll be wearing it. You guys see, bro, it's pretty sick.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
They call it the Eusebio kit. It's like a Eusebio special, yeah.
That's a nice jersey.
Yeah, and they're gonna wear this to the World Cup, bro. So I'm definitely gonna get it, man.
Okay. All right. So that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki. All right. So that's it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki, brought to you by the Chit Chatter Podcast Network. Now, for those of you who are tuning in, we just want to say thank you. And we hope for you to continue to watch our other shows, which are the Copy Bros. Every Monday, we have some fun interviews lined up for you. And if you do like the news in a different light, we do have the Loud Tales podcast every Friday, where we come together and talk about news in a new and fun way. So with that, from me and Paul, from everybody here at the Chit Chatter, we just want to say thank you. And EPL's coming back this week to all Arsenal fans, right? If you all lose to Spurs, right?
Bro, can I just add, right? Their star defender is injured.
Yep.
Gabriel, right?
Yep. So if you all lose to Spurs, right? You'll never hear the end of it already. Yeah.
Oh no, Man U game is 4 a.m.
Yeah, bro. I know. We've got a lot of 4 a.m. games coming up as a Man United fans.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's unfair, man.
Yep. But we have a very easy run of games. So finally, in the next 5 games, there's a chance that United could actually cut his hair. But we will see about that in the next 5 weeks. So with that, have a great week ahead. See you soon. Bye-bye.